Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Leonata, and I wanted to come on this live. I'm not live yet, but I wanted to come on this uh, platform and share my personal experience with a 72-hour water fast that I completed last week. I started on July 6th at 9:30 p.m. Ended my water fast on that Thursday. I think it was the 10th. Let me see. The 9th. January, July 9th at 9:30 p.m. So what I wanted to share is my experience with that, because one thing, I didn't do it for like losing weight. I wasn't trying to do that. But what I did do it for is because I needed to understand why my body reacts to certain foods and certain things certain ways. So it basically was like a science experiment on my own body. And what I learned was simply amazing. So if you guys like that kind of content, please stay tuned. Come back and I will share everything that I learned for those past 3 days. So why did I do a water fast? Like, what made me want to do one? So basically, what I wanted to do is to understand how quickly, it's a couple things. So the first thing I wanted to understand is how foods affect my body internally. I wanted to know how fast does my body go to ketosis. I wanted to check my blood glucose levels because, and we'll talk about that later, I noticed that certain foods spike my blood glucose very, very high. I wanted to track my water mass because I figured out that that was a big reason for my weight gain. And then I wanted to see what would happen if I went back to eating again the foods that cause me to have problems and the foods that I need to avoid. Okay, so okay, let me get my documentation. Okay, I'm back. So before I started anything, the first thing I did was I gathered my tools. So I have a tape measure, and I measure myself before the water fast and I measure myself after the water fast. That's number one. Number two, I have a Keto Mojo glucose monitor, and I checked my glucose first thing in the morning, midday, and right before bed. And in here you get your monitor, you get your pen, you get these, and then you got your strips. And we can talk about that later. And then finally, and it's kind of dirty, my scale, my Reno Fit scale. I love this scale. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. This is where the magic started, when I started tracking that. So let's see. So on day one was July 6th at 9:30. So I decided to start late in the day after work and right before bed, because I feel like I could cheat a little bit because I'm fasting at night and then we go off into the morning. Because your body never stops working. It's working 24/7. It's breaking down food, it's doing this, it's doing that, right? So anyway, so that's what I did. So for the first, overnight to when I woke up, I was fine. My body was still running off what it had the previous night, which was good. And I'll tell you my numbers. Give me a second. Okay, I'll come back to that. So, oh no, wait. As you can see, I am truly a body lab scientist of my own body. This right here is all of the data for the past 7 months on my body, like how how my weight fluctuates, what makes my weight fluctuate, and how I keep it more stabilized. So let's go to when I start. Next, let's see if I can just bring it up. Let's see if I think it's in here still. And I'll just tell you no, it's not. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. That light kind of sucks. So let's just say, so I did not do it on the 6th, but I did it on the 5th. So on July 5th, my GKI was 60, my blood glucose was 109, and my ketones were 1, which for me, my fasting glucose is never that high. So I know that was definitely after a carbohydrate feast. So anyway, but that's fine, because when I woke up the next day, my ketones had rose up by to 0.2. My glucose came down to like 98, and then my GKI came down to let me check. Okay, correction. So my GKI was 30, my blood glucose was 109, and my ketones rose up to 0.2. Okay, let's see. What else on day 1? What else did I experience? I wasn't hungry at all. That day I did drink about 80 ounces of water. My energy was steady. What else? I did my 8,000 steps. What else? And that was pretty good for that day. I did notice that I started getting like hunger waves. It wasn't like a straight hunger. It was like waves. Like I would make my son lunch and I'd be like, oh my God, I want to eat. But then I wait a few minutes and I don't want to eat anymore. So I know that those were just hunger waves. So that's another thing that I learned on my first day of water fast. So if you guys like this kind of content, come back and I have to hop on this meeting. So come back for day 2 and how I did my 72-hour water fast, what I learned, what mistakes I made, if I made any, will I do it again, and other information that I found out about myself during this water fast. So you guys have a great day. Mwah.